Oh, what's poppin', y'all? One of my greatest predictions of all time had to be on the IQ level of Valkyrae. Or not just IQ level, maybe we can include education level, ability to reason, cognition, anything that has to do with the mind or the brain. She is unfortunately deficient in. And she has demonstrated that time after time again. After she pretty much got on her knees, and I felt so bad because, like, yeah, she's like, what, 34, 35 years old? But her brain has not developed past that of an 8-year-old. So when you see her get on her knees and beg these people to forgive her, like, please tell me, what can I say to get your mercy? It's just kind of sad. It's like a child looking for the approval of its ghost of a parent, which is this audience that she's scared of getting hate from. But the most recent thing, which I found the most absurd, was, and it all started, keep in mind, this all started with this dude Hasan shocking his dog. That was the beginning of this entire destruction. Like, he couldn't just say, like, yeah, I shocked my dog, it is what it is, you know. It get like that sometimes. Me and Michael Vick, we locked in like that. It is what it is. He supports all the politics I do, so, you know, that's the game. I don't actually know if Michael Vick supports all the politics that he does, but I'm just creating that random scenario, by the way. So after this whole Mizkif situation happens, which I am so disgusted with myself for the amount of time that I spent looking into that I'm overwhelmed with information that I don't even know how to condense it into a video, and that's why I haven't made it. And I might just get to the point where I say, F this, I know too much, and I don't even want to talk about it. But I may or may not do that. But here, she says that she feels gross streaming on Twitch after what's happened recently on the platform. And I'm going to play you guys this dimwit's clip right now.
It just, like, it makes me feel like streaming is just so gross. Like, I feel like because I'm a streamer, it's just gross. Like, a part of me feels like I kind of want to quit streaming on Twitch and just only be on YouTube again. Like, it just feels gross. Like, I feel gross just being around it, being associated with it, being, like, in the eyes of some crazy people. It's, I don't know. I'm not sure things are gonna change.
And when I say dimwit, I mean it endearingly. But yeah, you just hear this and you're like, wait, what are you talking about? That's like saying, man, like, I feel so embarrassed to be an American citizen right now for what they're supporting around the world. Like, I think I'm just gonna move to a different country. Or, oh, you know, I've, like, oh, if we're talking about YouTube, like, she's like, oh, I kind of want to stream on YouTube. Are we forgetting, oh, who is not the poster boy of YouTube, but Elliot Rodger was on YouTube. Like, there was this guy there was a lot of nutcases on YouTube posting videos. So just this frame of mind, it's not that I don't get it. I just can't comprehend someone that's this deficient in the brain. And it continues because she is being, quote unquote, so she is in a cage. Think of her as Rapunzel, right? Like Rapunzel. She's got long, luscious hair, right? So it's a good comparison. And she's kind of got like reddish, brownish hair. So she is Rapunzel in the tower. And she cannot escape. Now, it's a nice tower. Like, it's a platinum tower. You could say it's shining. Chrome wheels, chrome wrap, just like Ye's Maybachs. So she's up there in the chrome tower, and her audience is like keeping her in that chrome. Now, it's nice in the tower, but she is subject to her audience, who are, let's say, you know, the people that work for the king. And they're all saying, like, hey, you know, you gotta speak on these things. So she can't just stay in the chrome tower unless she speaks. So she is subject to them. And the recent happenings after the whole Hasan situation was this girl, Cutie Cinderella, who is dating Ludwig, who got dragged into the situation. Everybody got dragged into this because of Hasan. So, Cutie Cinderella, she made a couple of statements, which I'm going to play you guys the statements that Cutie Cinderella said first.
It's not comfortable.
This is my perfect example. It's like, okay, I collab with Lacey. Lacey makes some homophobic jokes sometimes that I am not comfortable with the homophobic jokes Lacey has made. Lacey knows that he can't make those jokes around me. That does not mean that I am homophobic. Believe it or not, everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
you are not who you
People-
associate with. Like, shut the fuck up. You're like, you don't build bridges by burning them. That's not how it works. Like,
So this is what she said. Cutie Cinderella was getting a bunch of hate because she was hanging out with Lacey, and these other people were like, well, you know, Lacey makes this insert phobic, insert ism, insert ist, whatever. And then now she has to explain herself because, listen, these are not understanding people. These are not open-minded people. These are people that are like, listen, these are the rules, and you have to cater to our every whim, or you will be dragged back into a re-education camp. So they were trying to drag Cutie Cinderella back to a re-education camp. So Cutie Cinderella being very reasonable here, saying like, listen, I'm your ally. But, you know, I got to try to build bridges. I got to educate these people. It's like sending a Mormon on a mission. Well, she would know. She's an ex-Mormon. So they sent her. She's like, I was sent on a mission to, you know, convert these people, to slowly rid them of that. I was like, yo, you can't make those jokes around me. Dog, somebody says you can't make those jokes around. If you are normally make a certain type of joke, and someone that is not your coworker, that is not putting paper in your pocket, and that you don't need, starts telling you, oh, don't make those jokes around me, yeah, you got to cut that person off. I'm keeping it a buck. Because that person wants you to change for them. They are imposing their will on you. It is an act of domination. She's like, nah, listen, you know, like, you can't throw that label on me because I'm cool with him, but I'm not cool with the certain type of behavior that he has, which is completely normal. Yet, she started getting a lot of backlash for it. And Valkyrae, who's homies with her, I think they do a podcast together, she decides to speak on this because she's Rapunzel here. She's forced to speak on this because she is subject to this audience. And I'm going to play you guys that clip of Valkyrae's initial response.
I did tell her, I was like, Cutie, I do think your tone doesn't help because you inherently sound really angry all the time. You sound really, and she knows. I was like, you're very blunt. I think it's your tone, you're blunt, and it just comes off poorly, especially, you know, and I was like, you're also the whitest woman I know. And it also is just, you know, you being so white. It doesn't help. It doesn't help. But I know her. I know her heart. It's just because she wants to help. But I feel like there's ways we can do it better.
You know what the funny thing about Valkyrae saying this? Dog, her last name, I'm not just going to dox her, even though you could just Google it. This lady her dad's German. You're white. What are we doing here? Like, you're half of what Cutie Cinderella is. And it's not like, oh, you know, she's half Sicilian or, you know, like half Greek. No, like, you're half German. Like, it doesn't get much more white than that unless, you know, maybe she's half Finnish too. So she goes on, and then she's like, oh, damn it, I think I messed up. So she goes on and apologizes for a tweet that she deleted. I'm going to show you guys the tweet after. First, I'm going to play you guys the clip of the apology. So here's the apology.
I deleted my tweet because it reached real, not real people, real transphobic people, real hatred people. It almost gave them like something to huddle up to. And so that is why I deleted my tweet. That is the reason. It also didn't provide enough context for people that did not know the context. So I'm not using Twitter again until I do my my Santa Ray foray. No, it's okay.
The disaster that this girl has been going through, or this girl, well, I just think of her brain, you know, as a girl, is, and you want to know what the tweet is? So the tweet that she deleted was the following. There's nothing wrong with having conversations with friends and helping them understand where their privilege comes from in regards to situations they may not have personally experienced that others suffer from. And lots of privilege obviously comes from being white, which she is half. never thought I'd be accused for being, quote, racist against white people when the clip is clearly out of context. So that's what a lot of people came at her for, even other streamers. They're like, wait, hold on. What is... Like, she could have said whatever she said, but like, yeah, you know, like, Cutie, you're like the whitest person I know. What does that have anything to do with what the clip that Cutie Cinderella had, what she was saying? Because everybody on that clip was basically white. Like, I didn't see a non-white person on that clip. And never thought I'd be accused for being racist against white people, and the clip is clearly out of context. Anyways, filming Wine About It pod right now with Cutie, my white friend that I love very much, LOL. Stream resumes tomorrow. This was the tweet that got deleted. And she was saying, well, this tweet actually reached the real bad people. And I'm just like, oh, brother. And then, funny enough, even her own audience calls her the female Hasan. And this is where you see her brain start to, like, spark. You know, you ever plug something into an outlet and you see some sparks come out? You're like, whoa, am I plugging this into the right voltage? Is this 120, 110, 120, or is this 220, 240? What's going on here? That's what was happening to her brain. I'm going to play you guys that clip right now.
I heard you're the female Hasan. Damn. Is that what you heard? And I cannot change the way you perceive me. And I accept that. Although it hurts.
So see, in the first, you could see her struggling to think, this poor girl, man. Like, it's just, she cannot think in the way that a normal person, of average intelligence like us, like we can. Like, we're not smart here. Absolutely not. I'm not a genius. I'm not even above average. I might be slightly below average. But I have enough brain power to know that. Now, this girl, you could see her, she's like rubbing her temples and her forehead, and she's like, okay, hold on. So they just called me the female Hasan. Is that good or bad? It sounds like they said it in a bad way, but allegedly she's getting cracked by Hasan in a secret relationship that Hasan doesn't want anybody else to know about. That's what Ethan Klein said. I don't know if that's true, but regardless, she's cool with Hasan, and it would make sense because she seems like the type of girl that's like, whoever she's with, she's carrying all of their opinions. And it's not because she agreed with all of their opinions prior to the relationship. It's just like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds like it makes sense. So here she's struggling. She's like, okay, how do I reply so that I don't get a bunch of hate? I've been getting a bunch of hate on Twitter recently, and I just wanted to stop. And this is also stressful. I wish I could just go back to playing Among Us and Fortnite. And honestly, people calling me old and not having kids, like, that made me cry, which I do think that is a little bit brutal. But yeah, that made me cry, but you know, like, maybe I would rather just deal with that than all of this mess that I've somehow been dragged into. Like, what do I reply? And she stutters like a robot, like, that doesn't know what to do, like that new Neobot that they came out with, which looks fire, by the way. That is going to do a number on the maid community in America, for sure, that whole Neo thing. Because it's the rich people paying for those maids anyways, and they got 20 bands to throw on a robot if it's that good. So yeah, here she's just struggling, and I think she should just learn to not speak and just say, you know what, like, I don't know what I'm talking about. And she does feign ignorance a lot, but I don't think people are going to give her the grace that I'm going to give her because, like I said, she's just dumb. It is what it is. There's dumb people out there. But people are like, oh, well, you're 34. You should know all of this stuff. Well, you know, some people, they're just dumb, okay? That's all there is to it. And she's incapable of knowing how to handle certain situations. And that's why she's got other people probably handling a lot of the back end stuff, which is great. She's just the brand. She's just the face and the entertainer. Like, she's clearly a very hard worker considering she's been streaming for what, like 10 years now? Or at least like eight or nine? Consistent, hard worker, entertainer to be able to captivate an audience for this long. But yeah, she has a knack for saying the wrong thing almost every time to everybody. That is really a skill in and of itself. Because, like, let's take a Hasan, for instance. More recently with the dog situation, across the board, nobody agrees with him. But with most of his other takes, it's like, okay, 50-50. His side agrees with him. The other side doesn't agree with him. And it goes the same way with the opposite side. But when you look at a Valkyrae the past couple of weeks, you're like, you managed to consistently say something that both sides find dumb and offensive. that is a feat in and of itself. But yeah, I hope she gets through this, man. Like, you guys gotta lay off of her. Like, I understand, like, we've got Rapunzel up there, and you guys feel like you got this power over her, but just chill, man. And she does do this to herself, though. She is inviting this, especially with the clip culture now. Oh man, they are, they've got their hands on that clip ready to collect. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you think she did her friend dirty? I do think she did her friend dirty. Like, she's talking on stream that she knows is going to be clipped in public about her friend in a way that's not all the way disparaging, but it's like, yo, you don't talk about your homie like that. You just don't. You're like, hey, look, we're going to talk about it on the podcast. See it then. But I don't think she's strong enough to put her foot down on her audience like that from what we've seen in the previous video that I talked about her, which you can check that out in the pinned comment if I remember to put it there. But let me know in the comments what y'all think about the situation. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see you on the next one.